What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day, and it's Friday, so we have another cover story, number 8, very topical this week, because we're talking about Enel's cover story. We're breaking down the hieroglyphs on the moon, everybody. I know y'all want to talk about it. We done talked about the mural. We're going to keep talking about the mural. His ship was part of the mural. If you didn't see that episode, go check it out. It came out on Wednesday. We talked about the ship. We're talking about Enel. We're talking about the mural. We're talking about it all here on the Grand Line Gazette. Like, comment, subscribe. We need the support. We would appreciate it. So
please do.
Usually with these cover stories, we break them down. We check out what kind of lore drops we can get, what kind of stuff we know now in the story, and what we can connect it to from these cover stories where we're like, what the hell is this all about? You know what I mean? Now we know.
Yep.
Usually, Kev starts it off, but I have 3 pages he doesn't, so I will start off this episode. So, chapter 424, the character whereabouts shot. Okay? So, this is post-Skypiea. We're seeing what everybody's doing. 2 weeks ago, we did one of, I forget his name, Gedatsu. The audio was messed up on that one, so forgive me, but Gedatsu fell from Sky. I was like, wait. This dude fell from Skypiea? Like, that's what Kaido does all the time. Like, how did this guy live? I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. Like, how is this not significant? But there is a precedent for people falling from Skypiea and making, like, holes in the ground. Man, it's all over the place, y'all. Go check the episode. You're going to have to watch it in silent. But right here, Konis, Asia, Laki, and Nora go for a walk on Fairy Verth. All right, so got the giant snake, got the ladies of Skypiea. They're chilling.
Yo.
We got the dude, I forget this dude's name, but he was hella cool. He had the jet shoes and he had the rocket launcher. He's chilling. We got some of the people from the upper yard chilling.
Yep.
Viper and Shandia. And then we have Gunfall, the tribes. And the tribe, oh wow, I can't even talk right now. Ganfall and the tribe chief's pumpkin specialty plan. All right, so Ganfall.
I'm glad you stopped here because I already got lore. Yeah,
what was I going to talk about? You already know. He looks like a Gorosei.
Oh, well, okay. Go ahead and take that one. I'll take a different one.
He looks like one of the Gorosei. He looks like the Gorosei that turns into a bird. He, when we first saw him, was flying through the air. He was like a sky knight. It would be very, very ironic for this to all come full circle and a sky knight fights somebody that turns into like a mythical like dragon bird in the sky. I do think one of the Gorosei is from Skypiea. Write down in the comments below if you dig that one.
So I want to take a look at the guy on the right. When we first meet Garp, he isn't Garp. He has a traditional, what I think is a traditional headpiece that is in the form of a dog. Now, there's obviously been, theories that what is Luffy's lineage? Will we find out? I think this is a huge nod to it. I don't think it's an accident. You have this guy wearing a headpiece similar to Garp's. So I'm interested to see how far they really take that lineage factor.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like we've ever seen a scene, probably not a scene, but if we'll ever see a scene with Dragon. Because Dragon also has tattoos, much like some of these ancient Shandorans. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, he has the X's tattooed across his face. Luffy for Skypiea 2025. Y'all heard it here first on the Grand Line Gazette.
Skypiea.
Shandorian, my bad. But so let's go back to chapter 428.
Yep.
Short-term concentrated cover series number 9 to the Fairy Verth. All right. So we have Enel. He's on his ship. He just got his ass kicked by Luffy, and he was like, "I'm out of here."
Yep. Well, he has to have some knowledge, right? I think he has a lot of information previously because I think we're both in agreement that this probably isn't the same ship that we see in the mural. So how does he get it so close to one for one scale? I think he has to have some prior information, some knowledge. Maybe that's actually why he wanted his devil fruit specifically. But I think he has a story to tell later. I mean, coming soon in the manga. So
The
I'm really excited.
the Maxim is the name of the
The
ship.
Maxim.
And anybody correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I think Enel found the devil fruit first. Then he found like the upper yard, like the Sky Islands and stuff, and like took it over. And I think at that point when he found like Skypiea and Shandora and all the all the hieroglyphs, the Aztec place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
he
with you.
found like blueprints and details, much like how
Yeah.
Frankie knows Pluton. I think he found these and like remade it.
I'm right there with you.
And and to your point, I think it can only be powered by somebody with his amount of power. Uh,
It could be his
without
devil fruit specifically. Yeah.
other than the Mother Flame.
Fair. Yes. Agreed. That was a good exception. No. I mean, so he travels to the moon, which has its own lore drop. I mean, the moon is such a big thing for us in the manga. You have the Sulong forms, you have Blackbeard, you have Luffy always being in front of the moon when he's the sun god. So it's interesting that there ends up being something here on the moon. So
700
he's set.
chapters.
Yeah, later. Yeah, it's great, dude. When and because I don't know this as chat knows or as the viewers know, I didn't start watching One Piece until about a year, 2.5 years ago. So when I hear about people who watch this from week to week, they thought Skypiea was a filler arc, and now 600ish chapters later, we're finding out that this was the the lore before the lore. Like we see him doing the Nika pose right in front of the campfire in Skypiea, and it's like Oda,
As somebody who's been
chef's
watching since 2010, I could tell you the people who think Skypiea is a filler arc are the people that just jumped over from Naruto and were like, "All right, where are the fights?" Because I had to watch One Piece twice. All right,
Where's the aliens?
The
Where's the
first time
aliens?
the second time I watched it, I can guarantee you, I was like, I didn't know any of this was happening because I was looking for the fights. I was like, when do these things happen? But that's not what One Piece is all about. One Piece
No.
is 700 chapters later, paying forward, the lore drops. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Moving on.
And so he senses something. So he senses something in the crater. So he feels what a calling. Does he feel the electronic pulses coming from the base that we see in the very next panel?
No, it's kind of funny.
There's
I think he just sees the ladder.
just the ladder.
You see the ladder in the back right? He's like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
but he's like walking across it. I don't know.
That's true, but it's still dark in there, so it's like, and
Yeah.
that guy's off to the side, so it's like,
Yeah. And so there's somebody in the hole. He sees I forget what they're called in this, but they're basically a tontata, a mechanical tontata that's here on the moon. And he just obliterates this thing on sight. No warnings.
attack first, think later. This dude is a threat. He's like, huh, well, might as well put it out its misery. That's the godly thing to do.
But he doesn't know that that's the thing that it needs to be activated. So everything he just thought like was just happy accident. He just kind of found it, and
Which is kind of crazy because it's a soldier. It's a
Mhm.
well, we don't know it's a robot yet, but it's a soldier, and it wakes up and it's like it's ready. So it's like whatever happened, however, an indiscriminate amount of time it's been offline, just like Emmett.
Mhm.
How it's like it right back once it's on, it's like right back to it.
yeah, and but like I don't think they're like just AI robots type thing. Like they could be an Emmett style machine where they do have emotions and thoughts and things like that. So
They cer-
Lieutenant Spacey regrets going AWOL.
I was
So
just about to say they certainly got names, Junior Lieutenant Spacey.
and I don't know if that's just Enel calling him like, oh, this Lieutenant Spacey. Oh, that's clever. It's like, oh, okay.
This looks like the kind of character that's got that name and it tells you, and all you see is its mustache moving. It's like Jingy the tennis. It's like, look at him. He's like, huh? What the hell?
Yeah, so we come across a battlefield. Everyone's torched. I mean, Lieutenant Spacey's crying though.
And they all have different armor.
They do, and it's interesting that they every single, all four of them have a different style armor. It looks like a Wano with some ancient giant blood horns coming out of this guy that he's being held by Lieutenant Spacey. You have a God's Knight's armor here.
Oh, the knight. Yeah, I was like, what is the knight? And then the one on the top, it kind of looks like a
I don't know.
ranger type, like a
Okay.
not like a Boy Scout, but like a ranger, like a Dudley Do-Right ass costume.
Well, put a pin in this, guys, because the more we learn about the past, this could be a past uniform, like the old government used or something like that. And it'll come to light, and it's like, oh, that's so obvious.
Or maybe the hat.
Yeah, the creeping shadow. Something appears, and it's Lieutenant Spacey is killed by the space pirate. So, boom. Naruto told us before it was ever going to happen. We have space aliens. We have aliens.
Yeah, sorry. One Piece did it first, just like Simpsons did it first. One Piece did it first. Space aliens, and it's like Enel is like, okay, so it's been a long day. I just got my ass kicked. I just got my ass kicked by this rubber kid that came back and tried to find me like 4 different times.
Sure.
Okay, I come to the moon, which is I don't do that a lot. I find this little like robot guy, not even robot. I find this little guy. I try to kill him. He's alive, but then this fox-looking clock man with a spear comes and stabs him. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
And he kind of gets shorted out. So is that a specialty of the staff? Did he hit a power core here? We don't know yet. But then he tries to hit Eneru, who is literally a god, and that doesn't work. So, and back to your long day thing. This isn't Earth and the moon, but if it is anything similar, it took 3 days to get there. So it's like
it probably took
this guy's tired. Like he's tired of your bullshit.
Also, I thought these were clocks. These are energy readings. These are like
gauges.
Like from a power plant.
I'm right there with you. So I mean, he could have also, with that being said, he could have just come alive because Eneru came alive.
That's true. The energy in the area.
Yeah, similar to an Emmett with Luffy feeling the Gear Fifth. I like to always point this out because this is my favorite Eneru cover story. If you look at the Jolly Roger on this guy's helmet, it looks like a skull and crossbones of a Vegapunk similar looking humanoid. Is this the previous user of the brain fruit? We won't know for a very long time, but this was, again, 600 chapters before we ever get introduced to Vegapunk.
Or a previous user of the brain fruit, and that's like, these are his creations left over.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be Vegapunk. I actually wouldn't even think that makes sense, but for it to be a previous user, I do.
And then like there's an explosion. And it's like, bro, okay, so I've been here for, I'll say 20 minutes, right? There's a lot going on for 20 minutes of being on the moon. Is this always going on? And it just seems like it. That's the thing about One Piece. The world don't revolve around the person we're following. Sure. The world just keeps on happening. Mm-hmm. So now you got him surrounded by a bunch of dead people.
And it kind of pisses him off that there's an explosion, I guess, because I mean, this is his planet now. He's already claimed it. So.
Oh, I guess that's his ship that blew up.
Oh, the next one is
my ship, Unconditional Anger. So somebody came and blew up his ship.
Oh, so he's now stranded on this.
And it was the space pirates because they were like, "Hey, we'll just scrap this ship." This technology is real. Like, it looks familiar. Yeah, let's scrap it.
Real similar. Yeah, let's scrap it. But now we have a space king in the background. We don't have a sea king. We have a guy, helping out with the ship. I mean, it's kind of interesting how we kind of already met similar characters where we have uh shit
Yeah,
minks. I mean, these are like mink tribe individuals, so it's like
yeah,
who knows?
they're like animal based robotic people. So they're almost kind of like the you know how all the seraphim are all based off animals. They're all named after
Hmm.
animals. It's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Actually, you'll see later they have chambers that look just like how the seraphim were captured, or
Oh, nice.
are caged up in stasis.
I like that. So Eneru appears. I mean, he's literally just sitting on top of his new ship that he will now commandeer since it was stolen. Since his was stolen. But the space pirates won't really like that too much. So we'll see what they do. Machine Island, the day he was born. So we get a little flashback within a flashback of
Wait, what's which one? Are you on 448?
447.
Okay.
Oh no, down one. Oh, whoa. Why? Mine says chapter 447, Moria. Yours says chapter. Anyways,
448.
I'm on this picture right here.
Yeah. But either way, these
I
are
got
robot people.
it. But
These are basically what's it's not seraphim, but seraphim are uh XP0 and what are those
sure.
things called? Kuma
uh,
was made into a pacifista. These are basically
That's it.
pacifistas.
Sure. I mean, and Frankie looks like this in the 2 year time skip. I mean, he
That's
has
very
his
true.
face off, like so. I mean, these just because you're robotic doesn't mean you're not a person, I guess. And then we get a flashback to all four of them kind of chilling out. We get a better look at the uniforms. I still cannot pin that one all the way on the left, but I mean that one right there in the middle left is definitely an Oni giant.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I am definitely wondering. And then it's like we have a modern military one, which
Yeah,
the theory of like the constant, I don't know, like this modern,
resetting of the world.
yeah, it's like, but all this begs to like the question is like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean he's just the
Prof,
Frankie of the space pirates, I would assume
Professor
at this point.
Tsukimi, Professor Tsukimi.
Tsukimi, moon gazing connoisseur.
Excuse me.
So he's just chilling just like everyone else. And then the moon exploded while we were moon gazing.
I see. I see. I'm sorry. So they're back on Earth. This is on Earth now. This is where the flashback is happening. This guy's making like old
Ah,
robots, and this must be from like the Void Century or before the Ancient Kingdom because probably the Ancient Kingdom because it's advanced technology. You have the swords and
sure.
everything here, the helmets. So he's obviously making multiple. And so like they're chilling. It's a normal night. He's got his little robot buddies, and then bam, an explosion on the moon, and they're like, "What the hell, man?"
But he has a heart attack or he's choking. It is unclear. Oh, and we figure out a tearful departure after choking on a dumpling.
Yeah.
To the moon. So they're going to take balloons to the moon, which I don't see why that won't work out at all.
Yeah, there's no atmosphere differential. But
It's
yeah,
fine.
so it's like they're basically just his legacy. It's like he always liked the moon. He always wanted to see what's going on the moon, and they're like, we're gonna go figure it out. And that's when they
So
run into the space pirates. Which in the space pirates' defense, like you ain't from here.
this ain't your moon.
Yeah,
Which I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, he just happens to be the first one Eneru walked into, so
I
he will be
see.
on the winning side, of course.
But as this says
Ultimate
in part
mortification.
22, it says the professor's revenge. There are times when a man has to do what a man has to do. So now I'm in super theory mode. Like maybe the professor was from the moon, got chased off, went
Mm.
to Earth, was stargazing because he's like, I used to be there all the time, was telling his little people about it. And then after he died, they're like, we're going to take this shit back. We're going to run it back.
He said, "I used to live there.
You know,
Now I live in this shithole with you guys."
like, have you ever like driven by somewhere like that you used to be around, like next to somebody you don't know, like a family member or a friend, or like maybe your kid or something like that, and they, you know, I used to be up there, and then you think to yourself like, why did I even?
I used to start in high school. It's like
They probably got my
Put the
record set up.
fries in the bag, dog.
Yeah, come on. You used to hang out at that Walmart? Okay.
Cool, cool, cool. Paper or plastic is what you should be asking.
Yikes.
And
um,
so he's not. They're no match for the space pirates. I mean, the space pirate was way too strong. He seems to be just the captain of the crew. He just easily.
I've never seen that Puss in Boots movie, but he got that death look on him. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, he's shooting him down. He got his like double sworded like weapon. Like, hey, watch out. But
Yep, but he had the problem of pissing off Eneru very first at the very first move. So here comes Eneru, the divine judgment. I mean, you're losing. You're not the MC here, so he just easily whoops their ass. The helpless space pirates. Okay, now you're making them out to be the villain or the victims, and that's not okay.
and he's kind of like, and it's almost like he's like a little bit of the hero because he does that anime like off hero thing where he's like digging in his ear, where it's like it wasn't nothing, but like I had to do the right thing.
Well, it's more like I kind of picture him more of as like a Vegeta. Like he's like, look, I may do the right thing, but it's only when my ego is hurt. Okay, he destroyed my ship. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Like I also started the series by destroying 2 planets. Like that's in the first 2 episodes you saw me, I destroyed 2 planets back to back. But you know that's not billions of lives. I got a wife now and a purple-haired kid.
I love Bulma. Get it through your head.
Bulma Brief will do that to somebody. But all right, so we're moving on to part 27. The space pirates are in the
gratitude. Gratitude for avenging the Doctor. So I mean, simple as that. I mean, he defeated their enemies, and that makes him really happy. But I mean, if it's anything, I mean, Enel doesn't really like the small talk. So,
but he does see like a vault on some Fallout 4 shit, where he's like, "Hey, what's under there? Like, it's under a factory. Like, there's got to be something good in there." So he's like, "Let's go explore." The moon basement, and that's where he sees all these hieroglyphs and these ancient chambers and like just this ancient civilization. That's actually low key. That's my favorite kind of ancient civilization, like kind of housing, is when they're like carved into the mountains and shit like that. Because I'm like, that means people was here. I don't know how long it takes you guys to carve houses out of mountains, but it might take a while.
I mean, and like my favorite was like, as far as like in like anime was Airbender. They had like underneath the mountain cliff. They had it like on the underside of a cliff because that was the only place airbenders could get.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, it's perfect.
I love
it's
that kind
perfect
of stuff.
Place.
And they have temples like that in real life, and it's like so much time needed to be taken to build like these statues on impossible cliffs and stuff like that. Like, oh, that's pretty amazing. Almost as amazing as some of these X's mixed with these windows on these buildings look very similar to Dragon's face tattoo.
But, where are we at? Which chapter?
I'm on where Eneru just goes inside. Might be 465 for you. Yeah, 31. Okay. But yeah, all those X's and O's kind of look like his tattoos, like the tribal. So very interesting.
I'm with that. And so he kind of learns from attack the city first, ask questions later. I don't know. I'm not going to call him a moron because I feel like it's easy for him to put 2 and 2 together. Like, oh, I turned on that little machine earlier by doing this, so I'll just do this now. I doubt he's like trying to make the.
You know, all this is happening during Thriller Bark, which we believe, you guys should check our video, that Thriller Bark is a part of God Valley, just taken back. Where do we get all these people from? How does Moria have all these shadows? It's a part of God Valley. We have a video. Go check it out. Go find it.
Please do.
But he electrocutes the place, and then he's like, oh, wow, there's more robot people. Like, oh, these guys are in like robes and they have wings. So it's like the professor who was on Earth was remaking a model of these. And so Enel is reactivating them with his lightning. Didn't know. For some reason, he's just like, fuck it, let's light up this place to see what we can do. And
And
yeah,
I mean, in the right before, I mean, these next couple pages are pretty out there. I mean, this little capsule back here over his left shoulder.
yeah.
I mean, that appears like the containment pod for the Mother Flame as well. Um, I don't see that in the mural that we got in the recent chapter, but I mean, that could easily be something added later. But
You,
that whole
you
okay,
know, it's like he must have seen like these lights and stuff, and that's why he decided to do the light. He's like, wait, is that like a light bulb?
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean, this is straight out of the mural. I mean, this kind of stuff, it's here.
it's like we have
The top.
the Skypians, the
Mm-hmm.
Shandorans. You have them experimenting on these pseudo pacifistas. Whatever this guy's staff is very interesting. But I believe like this up.
Reminds me a lot of Rhodes' staff. Rhodes a sun god, and he is the only sun god I know that carries a weird ass staff. So,
That's true. But it also looks like they have a machine at the very top that's like
mm-hmm.
controlling like a mother flame that is powering these like that's energizing these like pacifista robots.
And are these slaves that we saw in the mural on the right hand side, where they're carrying the mother flame on that, like
I
going down?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are more people, and it was like
Could be.
that's why because I feel like these guys would just be more like huh 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 huh, and those people are like look more like
Yeah.
like pushing the shit. But
And so I mean, this is a great information because I think this all links back to Enel coming back here soon. The Moon City Burka, which is pretty funny because that's actually where he's from in Skypiea. He's from
he's
Burka.
Birkin, yeah.
He's Birkin. So it's like, wait, hold on. This is named after that place is named after this place? And it's like, yeah.
And with the second picture that he sees, it's like let's start with the bottom right. We see sea creatures, which are probably the
Sea
sea
Kings.
kings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're probably gonna have what is it, Poseidon, represented
Sure.
here. This one up here is not Pluton, Uranus. It's
Sure.
got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You probably have more on the other side. Probably got the 12 points that shoot down, or the 16 points that shoot down. Also similar to Doflamingo's 16 holy bullets or whatever. Like
True.
the
True.
16's very, very big with this kind of stuff. I don't see now this ship could be like Noah. It could be like the Eneru ship that he like remade. And that might be why he's a little curious. He's like, wait, that's the ship that I saw down there too. Um, and I'm thinking they might be standing on Pluton, if it's like a giant ship as well.
It's possible. I think it's weird that we have three people here. We have three ancient ships. Do these kind of equate to like Shirahoshi is is an ancient weapon? Do we have two other people out there that could also be closely connected to an ancient weapon?
They all
We'll
have
we'll find out in time.
they all have balloons too, which is very similar with how
Very.
the other like the little creatures like Lieutenant Smiley got up to the moon. So it's like, what do
Mm-hmm.
these balloons signify? Does it signify flight? Is that why, or is that what their wings are? Because you have the Shandorans, you have the Skypians, and most likely Lunarian is going to be the other one. So it's like,
Agreed.
I wonder what that is. And one of them has like a fish head. And fish heads can also be like dragons, serpents, stuff like that. So I'm wondering like the real difference between the three.
Great example of that's the fish fruit model Azir Dragon.
Right
I
there.
mean, with Kaido. So I mean, I'm right there with you on that one.
Um,
But then, volume 37, turn around and see the loyal servants of the
I
endless
I do have
Mars.
one more thing about this one
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Those little like pacifista robot thing. Well, first of all, what the hell is this eyeball in front of them? Like, I'm not sure what the hell that's all about. But these little pacifista
Yeah.
robots, they look sad. They look like they're crying, like they're about to like depart on a mission kind of thing. And these guys look like they're also. I don't know if it's just like the shape of the eye with the eye makeup for the stylized like eyeshadow, or if they're all like upset because it does look like they're crying.
I'm right there, and I don't even know like is the first what's first. So is volume 35 the first segment, and then chapter volume 36 the second? Is it a tale of two stories like like what we think our recent mural is? Was one the first expedition, the second
If you
is the
actually
other.
go back to 35, none of their eyes have those little dips on the bottom. So I do think that they were created by these people for a specific reason, and then they go to the point where they're like, I have to say goodbye to my creations, and the creations are like, we have to go do a thing.
No staff on while they're leaving though.
Yeah.
He has the staff in volume 35, but does not have it in 36. Very interesting.
So he's got his army, he's got his land. Now he's just got to figure out what to do with it.
Now he has to kind of rebuild his ship though too. Like, or can the space is the space pirate ship enough? Is it adequate to do what he wants to do?
But it's like, what does he want to do more than lord over things? And it's like, you got your perfect kingdom right here, man. To be honest with you, like, there's no bitches. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe you got to go back to Earth every once in a while, but you got your kingdom.
And we do see the weapons of the four main General Spicy or Spacey and stuff. So the one on the right is not even a Holy Knight or a God's Knight.
Like a Sky
He's
Knight.
what?
He's a
Yeah,
Sky
he's a
Knight.
Sky Knight. Thank you. Yeah, what Windfall was.
Genfall.
But then we definitely have a Wano Samurai off to the left. I can't make out the other two still though. I still don't get what they are.
One looks
It's a
like
musket holding.
yeah, one's like a military guy for a government, and then one looks like more like a revolutionary. On some,
I would love that.
on
Yeah,
some, what's his name at the Alamo, Davy Crockett stuff.
But guys, you guys tell us. How do you? Are we way off? Do you think that this cover story is going to come back into the forefront and in the, you know, very soon? I think, like very soon. I think we may even see it as soon as within the next month or two. I think he's going to become important.
He's got to. He's got to. But you guys let us know your guys' decision. You guys let us know your guys' thoughts. You guys let us know your guys' suggestions on what videos we have to do next. Please check that video where we talked about his ship. I just forgot the name of the ship. The Maxim. So check that out. Check out the rest of the videos. Like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.